When was your gut feeling actually right? It was 1995. I was 18, still living with my parents, and I was walking home from a friend's house at about 2 a.m. in the middle of the summer. He only lived 5 or 6 blocks away, and we often hung out watching movies after I got off work. Usually I would drive to his house because we'd been out with other friends, but this night I had parked at home and we walked to his place. There's not usually a lot of traffic between our houses, but this night I was about halfway home when a pickup truck drives by with 2 guys in the cab and 2 in the bed. I immediately felt like I was in danger. I saw the truck turn the corner, and I dove over some hedges in the closest yard I could find. I hid under them. I saw the truck come back around the corner and slowly drive down the street. When it got to where I was hiding, I heard one of the guys say, "Where did he go?" and another respond that he didn't know. They kept driving, and I didn't see them again. I stayed hidden for a good 15 minutes before getting up and running the rest of the way home. I'm certain they would have jumped me if they found me. One of my mates had a similar experience while living in London. He worked in hospitality, which often meant he didn't get home until very late in a suburb called Seven Sisters, which wasn't the safest. He gets off the tube, starts walking back to his place at about 2 a.m. and notices there are 3 very large men following him. He said he couldn't explain it, but he started getting a weird feeling, so he tested it out by slowing down and speeding up his walking pace. They would match it every single time. He unlocks the front door, steps inside, closes the front door, then looks out the mail slot. The 3 guys are literally standing right in front of his door talking for a little before finally leaving. When I was a young woman, my husband and I lived on a military base. At the time, the base was wide open and many local people used it as a shortcut from one town to another. The base also had free base newspapers available at many places on base. One week the newspaper said that facilities engineers, base maintenance, were going to begin installing attic fans in our townhouses. Sure enough, someone banged on my door later in the week and announced that he was there to install my attic fan. I was immediately suspicious. He was not military, dirty, scraggly beard, paint-stained clothes. But mostly it was my dog's reaction. Candy was a husky shepherd mix, so not a small dog. She'd put herself between me and him as best she could, her hackles were up, and she was growling, that deep bass in the chest growl that you feel more than hear. I asked to see a work order and ID. He said, "I don't need no fucking work order," and yanked open the screen door. It was latched, but those kind of latches are meant to keep toddlers and dogs in, not grown men out. Candy roared and went for his throat. He jumped back and slammed the screen. I grabbed Candy, dragged her back, slammed and locked the door, ran to the back and slammed and locked that. Then I called the MPs. They came out, verified that my street was not due to get attic fans for a couple of weeks, and took all the information I could give them, which wasn't much. I never heard anything back, so they probably never identified him. 2 or 3 weeks later, the real installers came from facilities engineers, in uniform. They promptly produced work orders and ID. Candy looked at them and went back to playing with the baby. I'm absolutely certain that she saved me from rape, possibly from murder.